everybody. Hi. Okie dokie. Let's get into it if we can. Marjorie asks, when people pay for a course via PayPal and choose PayPal's pay in 4 payments option, what happens if they stop paying after 2 payments? Ooh. Okay. So this is one of those situations where it is really frustrating that this stuff does happen. It does happen. Whenever you offer a payment plan, you are opening yourself up to the fact that some people, and I wish that this wasn't the case, some people will stop paying after the first payment. Like, I know that let's just say that you have, $100 a month program, and that's your payment plan is 12 months of $100 a month. And there will be people who will sign up for sign up for the product, pay the $100, download everything, and then cancel the subscription to the PayPal payment aspect of it. So there's a few things that you can do. One, you can contest it with PayPal. Is that right? You can email them and say, hey, you still have to pay these things. You still have to pay. You said you were going to. You still have to. I can see that you access the course and all the information. You still have to pay for it. So you can go straight to the direct emailing them route, which I do recommend, because sometimes the reality is we have to look at things through the lens of somebody is not doing this to us. We have to look at through the lens of people are good. This was an oversight. This was a mistake, because if we don't, then we get kind of the claws come out really quick, and we don't want that to happen either. We don't want to have a moment where we're like, oh my gosh, you're a terrible person, and send a nasty email, and it's my account was shut down, because PayPal is kind of like that sometimes. My account was shut down. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to. Can you rebill me? So that might be the case. Number one is it might be an honest mistake, an oversight on their part. It does happen. Email them, reach out a few times, and say, this happened. If you are doing checkout processes through ThriveCart, I know that PayPal sends them an email as well, and it sends you an email. So it'll say, Jane Doe didn't make the failed rebill payment from Jane Doe. They'll get an email as well saying your PayPal payment to Marjorie failed. Please update your billing information. And you can set it up to where there's going to be X number of emails that they'll get from PayPal, but usually it'll happen for 14 days. And then PayPal will say, we've tried billing them and it didn't happen. So you have to kind of keep an eye on that. So there's one. Is the honest mistake. It was an oversight. That does happen. Now, there will be situations that you may occur or encounter where that person, it was not done by mistake, and it was done out of malice. And so what I do is, if somebody can't make a payment or misses a payment or misses multiple payments and or cancels their payment portfolio inside of Stripe and or PayPal, I remove their access from the course. I can see, let's just say after, it's supposed to be 4 payments, but they only paid 2. I'll remove their access from the course until they can pay the outstanding balance. And I have no problem emailing them saying, your access has been revoked until you finish your payment. Because that's kind of the contract, is you have to say inside of your terms and conditions, which I do recommend that you have, obviously. You do have to say inside of your terms and conditions, you are responsible to pay X number of payments in full. If you do not make all of your payments, your account access will be revoked until the payments are made. That's something that you can have inside of your terms and conditions. Again, I'm not a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer if you want to. But that's something that I have inside of all of my terms and conditions, is you have to pay all of your bill if you want to maintain access. And it's that simple. And so you can revoke their access. And in a lot of cases, people will email you and say, hey, I can't access my course anymore. What gives? And you can say, oh, well, it looks like there was a failed payment. And again, coming back to, we're always going to assume that people do things with good in their heart, with good intentions. And like this was an accident and they didn't realize it. 9 times out of 10, people are good. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Send me a link and I will fix it. And in that case, perfect. Awesome sauce. And everything's taken care of and right with the world. So just being aware of like the different options that you have, there is a real pain in the butt option of like somebody cancels it and accesses everything and you email them repeatedly to say, hey, you didn't pay, and ghosted. And sometimes that just happens. And that's kind of part of the doing business aspect. It sucks. But as far as like things that you can do to prevent that from happening, I had somebody do that just a little bit ago with the Creative Entrepreneur Society. This woman signed up, let's call it noon, okay? This woman signed up at noon, and by 1 p.m., she had canceled her account with the Creative Entrepreneur Society, which I was like, after an hour? Like, whoa, what happened? Turns out she had gone in and downloaded, because I can see the progress of everybody. She downloaded every single template, lesson, watched all the videos, got them all, and then left. Yeah. So that was ultra shady. So we did actually have to send her an email and say, because she was in a competing business and everything, like, hi, saw that. And it's never a comfortable situation to send those kinds of emails. But usually, like, again, there have been hundreds of students through the Creative Entrepreneur Society. And that's the first one who's ever done that. If that gives you any idea of like the consistency of that happening. Your courses run over 4 weeks, 4 weeks of weekly coaching and lessons that are dripped out over the month. But I had 2 people ask for a payment plan this time. Yeah, for sure. Payment plans are great. I really love giving people the opportunity to have payment plans. One of the things that I heard from somebody, actually, it wasn't that I heard from somebody. I saw this from Amy Porterfield. So now we're going on a real tangent here. When I bought a membership course called Tribe from Stu McLaren. I bought it through Amy Porterfield's link because she had oodles of bonuses. She did not give out a single bonus until 90 days after that person had signed up. So I had to have been signed up in Tribe, paid, and then been in there for 3 months before I had access to any of the bonuses that she gave. Why? Because after 90 days, that's when the return period was for Tribe. So like you had to, everybody's payments had to have gone through after 90 days. Everybody had to, like, nobody could do any kind of returns after 90 days. And that was her way of making sure that she's not giving away free information to people who are just going to cancel their membership like the day after, or say ask for a refund the day after. So you can drip out the content. If someone's not paying over a period of time, it is a really smart strategy. I think it was a really interesting strategy. And it is something to take into consideration if you're really concerned about people kind of like cutting and running when they have obligations. You can make the access to the course, like you can, instead of saying it'll be 4 weeks, say it'll be 8 weeks, and the new lesson will drop every other week. Or there'll be a new coaching lesson every other week. That way, again, you're kind of helping to stretch out the period of time where they would just be able to get in, grab everything, and go. Now, are there going to be people who sign up, have buyer's remorse, and then just don't, and then cancel their payment plans? Yeah, it might happen. But we have to look at it through the lens of payment plans make things more affordable for people. Not only do payment plans make things more affordable, they mean that there's less of a barrier to entry for them to join your world. That's kind of the way that we have to look at things. Is it's a way for you to have kind of passive income for a period of time, one, which is good, and two, remembering that people are good. We're remembering that most people who come into our world who want to pay us will do so with every intention of paying the entirety of their bill. And that's kind of how we have to look at it. We don't want to abandon the idea of helping a lot of people by offering a payment plan just because one slimy butt face person took advantage of it. I was part of an affiliate launch like years ago, years and years and years ago, where it was like the payment plan was so small but so stretched out. So it was like $50 for $50 a month for 12 months. And that particular, like the next time that the sale went around, that creator was like, we're not doing payment plans. It is pay in full. And if you want to pay it off over a period of time, you have to go and get a credit card to do that on your own because we're not a bank. And what that turned out, like I asked her a few years later, I'm like, what happened? It turns out that a lot of people took advantage of that situation and they didn't have it dripped out over a long enough period of time. They were hounding people like left and right for collecting on their bills that they promised to pay. And it was just too much. And I don't blame them for being burned and being afraid of that. However, it did affect their numbers in the sales going forward. When you take away the option for a payment plan and you have only the option to pay one large sum, it's awesome for everybody who is ready to pay that amount of money. But for the people who are like, I have $50, I don't have 500, but I can pay it off over a period of time. And again, I'm a personal finance person. So me talking about like debt in this way or like payment plans in this way sounds like counterintuitive, but I swear it really does help a lot of people. I find that especially like as you get, now let me be clear. If we're talking about a payment plan for like a $47 product, we don't want to do that. That's too much risk to assume for you. Because if it's $47, like you shouldn't be breaking it up into two payments of 25 or whatever it is. You want to make sure that, you know, you're going to be compensated. And the lower the price point is to start, the fewer different payment options that you should have, because I think that you'll see a lot more people taking advantage of payment plans for higher ticket items. And they'll be more likely to follow through on them. Just being honest on that. So remember to try to look at it through the lens of people are good and want good things to happen and will pay off what they're supposed to, because it will help you go forward. Don't let the reason that you're not sending emails or adding payment plans or offering more services to your people, don't let that be affected by the fact that maybe somebody might do something bad. Maybe you have more signups than you've ever had before because you offer those payment plans. Maybe you blow your sales goals out of the water because you offer those payment plans. Maybe you're like, I didn't even know that this was possible because you offer those payment plans. You have to like look at it from that side, because if you look at it through the lens of like everybody is a shady butt face and who's looking to scam me, it's going to be problematic. It's going to be stressful on you. And every time you get a payment plan, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like white knuckle grip, like, what if they don't do that? Breathe in, breathe out. We're letting that go. And every single time that we put a payment plan on a page, our mindset has to be, everybody's going to love this payment plan. Everybody who signs up for this payment plan is going to pay in full without a problem. I will not have to chase them down. This is going to be giving people who need this course the ability to buy it without having price being a barrier. That's the way that we're going to look at payment plans. If you can turn off, I don't know if you can, the pay in for or whatever it is, PayPal plans, like where PayPal offers basically their own version of layaway. If you can turn that off, turn it off, especially for a $99 product, 100%. Ladies, I hope that helped. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. And if you have any questions at all, make sure that you hit reply to emails. You can send me emails at caroline@carolinevencil.com. And yeah, I hope that helped. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.